Hello and welcome. Welcome again to the HBCU Connect AMEX virtual event. We're excited to be here tonight. We have some top level executives from AMEX who are looking over your resumes and screening the talent, trying to find those next leaders, the next optimistic person, people who want to be AMEX leaders. So it's a wonderful time to be here. Those of you who are HBCU candidates, whether you're alums or you're still in school or about to graduate, or maybe you have some tenured experience, thank you. Thank you for joining tonight. This is a fine opportunity for you to shine and show your talents to the AMEX Corporation. We have partnered with AMEX quite a few times, and they've done a great job of supporting HBCU Connect and supporting HBCU candidates. So we want you to know that this is a true, real, genuine, authentic opportunity for those who go after it. So we want you to present yourself well. We want you to, though, keep your cameras off in the first part of the presentation. I think as we move to our breakout rooms, you can turn on your cameras then, and we'll have more flexibility there. But in the first part of the production, we'd like for you to keep your cameras off, but definitely utilize the chat feature. What do we mean by that? If you are an HBCU graduate, if you have a LinkedIn profile, if you are an expert in the roles of finance and technology and you want to let the AMEX professionals know you're here, drop them a note in the chat, and someone will be monitoring to answer that or respond to that. For those of you who don't know, we have AMEX executives online and we have HBCU Connect representatives, both who will be monitoring the chat to kind of facilitate tonight's event. All right. So as you can see, our agenda is on the screen. We are in the welcome portion right now. And then we will have an overview of AMEX from a dynamic presenter, a gentleman I got to meet yesterday, and just a phenomenal, comes from a phenomenal background with a lot of leadership, definitely has a great team that works with him. So I think you're going to enjoy that. Then around 6:15 approximately, we will go into the breakout sessions. And the breakouts will have two rooms. One will be one for finance and the other will be for technology. There you will get additional conversation. You'll get additional guidance. And you may even hear from our CEO, Mr. Will Moss, who will be on the line to give further instructions on how the breakouts will run. And then from there, once those breakouts are over, we will go into our 6:45 to 7 o'clock closing. And that will just be any call to action or next steps that AMEX would want you to know that may be beneficial to you in securing a great position. Okay, so again, I reiterate, if you are here primarily in the finance and technology sector to obtain a career-based opportunity with the AMEX Corporation, you're in the right place. Okay, thanks for joining tonight. Make sure you're attentive. We're going to be on no more than an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. Utilize this opportunity. Utilize that chat feature. Drop your HBCU in there. Drop your experience in there. We want you to have a fair shake at getting one of these fine positions. My name is Larry Jemison. I'm a Vice President of Business Development with HBCU Connect, and it's my honor again to work with the AMEX Corporation. At this point, we're going to go into a little AMEX sizzle. All right. I hope you all enjoyed that as much as I did. I planned it a couple times. We're gonna move on. I'm not a producer, but I feel like one when that beat comes on. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you, AMEX, for supplying that. What I got from that was 60,000 different diverse ways of doing business, quirks, and being the magic that Amex provides. Thank you for that sizzle reel. Right now, we're going to go into the introduction of a gentleman who I tell you I had a chance to meet yesterday. Fine young man, lots of accolades. Starting with the top, he is a Morehouse College graduate out of Atlanta, Georgia. So definitely a fine institution.
You know Nigerian people for inside.
Fine institution of higher learning, and we're glad to have him with a 20-plus-year career. But when not at Amex, Mr. Hawkins is a gentleman who loves to cycle. He's an avid cyclist. He's a novice guitarist. So when he's not at Amex controlling big business, he's playing the blues, jazz, and even a little reggae when the timing is right. So we're glad to be here with you tonight, Mr. Omar Hawkins. Omar, tell us a little bit about you, what you got going on, and man, we're excited to be here with you tonight. Thank you.
Larry, thank you for that wonderful introduction. It's such a pleasure to be here and have this opportunity to speak with the candidates who are interested in American Express. As you mentioned, I'm a proud alumnus of Morehouse College. One thing I failed to mention yesterday, I'm also the very proud father of a 6-year-old by the name of Malik, and there is some healthy competition in our household as we're already trying to chart out his future. I saw a couple of references in the chat. My mother is an alumnus of Hampton University. My wife is an alumnus of Howard Law School. And you could imagine the banter about which HBCU is best and best for our young man. So just really proud of the experience that I had at Morehouse, and very much so, very proud of the experience I've had at American Express. I was recruited into the company way back in 1998. I'm a product of the campus recruiting process. So I will be celebrating 25 years with the company next year in 2023.
Congratulations. Wow.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And congrats on Malik too. He sounds like a young Omar Hawkins in the making.
Well, I hope he surpasses. Let's say that. If you wouldn't mind advancing the slides, what I would like to do in this short period is tell the group a bit about American Express, a bit about my personal experience, and then I want to get out of your way so that you can maximize the opportunity in the breakout rooms. We've got some incredibly accomplished and well-informed colleagues that are here to share with you their personal experience and to help you craft your narrative as you're attempting to gain more information about American Express and craft your career trajectory. So with that, if you wouldn't mind advancing one more. On this slide, what we've depicted are the American Express blue box values. These are the commitments that we make to each other as colleagues, and they are our lighthouse, our guiding light to make sure that we deliver best-in-class experiences for the array of customers that we have: consumer customers, business customers, merchant customers, travel customers, etc. So without belaboring each item on the page, I just want to call out that we take diversity and inclusion incredibly seriously. And that is, again, one of the main reasons I was just so excited to be invited to speak at this forum. We win as a team, we do what's right, and we back our customers. So as Larry mentioned, American Express is a Fortune 100 company that's been around over 150 years. And our brand and our values stand for trust and making phenomenal customer experiences. So with that, if we can advance to the next slide, I'll share a little bit more about my experience. And why I wanted to do that on this page is because the headline really spoke to me. As a company, we ask and we encourage our colleagues to lead the way, and the company has our backs. Being at American Express, For almost 25 years, I've had the great pleasure of working in numerous business units and an array of capacities. I've worked in the headquarters in New York. I've worked in Seattle, Washington. I've worked in Philadelphia, and I now call Port Royal, South Carolina home. I've worked in the issuer side of the business where my customers were the actual card holders. I've worked on the merchant side of the business where my customers are the companies that accept American Express for payment. I've had the great pleasure of working on American Express Interactive and the AMEX.com site, delivering transformational enhancements to the user experience online. And when I think about the long horizon of the long arc of my career, it's all of those experiences that prepared me for the role that I'm in today. As Larry mentioned, I lead a team in the commercial side of the business on financial inclusion product management. And this is American Express making a concerted effort to address the historical inequities that African Americans and other underserved citizens have faced when dealing with big banks. And it came to a head, as we all recognized back in 2020 with the murder of George Floyd and the nationwide recognition of the unfair and mistreatment of African American citizens. And it was with that awareness that we knew it wasn't just at the hands of law enforcement, it's also when we're interacting with financial institutions. Far too often, African Americans, Hispanic, Latinx population, and various Asian backgrounds are either underserved or ignored when it comes to financial literacy and when it comes to access to capital, access to debt. And even when they are able to secure loans and financing, they're too often paying a much higher cost for that access to capital than similarly situated white counterparts. So I'm just incredibly passionate about the work that I'm doing today. I'm incredibly thankful for the years of experience that brought me to this place. And I'm so excited again to welcome everybody to today's session. And as I mentioned earlier, I want to get out of the way so you guys can make your way to the breakout rooms and speak to our finance and technology professionals. But before I do that, I'll pause for a moment if there are any questions for me.
Hi, my name is Kayla Dorsey. I wanted to know, what was your initial position when you came in with Amex, when you were recruited, and what degree did you graduate with?
Absolutely. So I'm a business administration major with a concentration in marketing. And when I entered the company, I was a marketing analyst in our small business services division.
Awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Hi. So I just have a question about, you said that you started in 1998, and I was wondering what were some impactful efforts that you've seen Amex do in the community, and how were they successful, and where you think that it was not successful at?
I think two of the things that come to mind most distinctly are Small Business Saturday and Partners in Preservation. So American Express, from a philanthropic standpoint, when you think about Partners in Preservation, we make contributions so that those landmarks in various geographies can be restored to their original glory, and they can continue to welcome numerous visitors, both from within that community and from people who are visiting that geography as a destination. And then certainly Small Business Saturday, when you think about the importance of Main Street America to the overall economy, American Express was on the front foot, a key leader in backing those small business owners that are so integral to our economy. And if I'm not mistaken, we should be approaching a 12th or 13th anniversary from the first Small Business Saturday.
Hi, my name is Austin Mingo Crockett. I'm a recent graduate of the MBA program at Hampton University. And my question for you, is, what is the most fulfilling aspect of your job?
Oh, without a doubt, it's the people that I get a chance to work with. I still hesitate when the topic of leading comes up, because there are so many brilliant people here, and what I want to do is just put my team in a position to be successful, to demonstrate their skills, their abilities, their capacities to drive thought leadership and strategy. And I'm very pleased to have a number of folks who have worked with me who have been recently promoted. So those items are, without a doubt, the most fulfilling elements of my role.
Hi, my name is Shauna Marie Jones. I'm wondering, given that you've touched a lot of different areas throughout American Express, and you seem to be a big impact in the community and uplifting Black people and other minority groups, what areas do you think AMEX can still impact that they're not doing already? In other words, how would you like to see this effort grow and change?
That's a great question. So when we started on this journey of financial inclusion, we didn't want to bite off more than we could chew, but we did want to focus on the communities that we saw were the most either ignored or unfairly treated. So that's why the first three design target communities are African American, Hispanic, Latinx, and Asian. Now, with that said, there are a number of other communities that could benefit from additional support. When we think about persons with disabilities, or the LGBTQ community, or Native Americans. So when I think about financial inclusion, it begins with the populations that I originally mentioned, but it doesn't end there. So I'm very optimistic about taking the learnings and the best practices that we generate with our first three communities and scaling those efforts with the other communities that will soon follow.
Hello, my name is Valencia Porter, and of all the positions that you've had at Amex, what is the one position, maybe two positions you've had that have really stretched you and allowed you to learn new things that possibly you thought, okay, this position is a stretch for me. Mm-hmm. I have some skills, but I don't have all. Mm-hmm. And how easy was that transition?
Sure. So I'll say two roles in particular. My first role, moving from an individual contributor to a people leader. And I think it's not uncommon when people are moving from being a, kind of institution of one, right? You can control your own output. You can control your bandwidth. You can control your own effort, right? But when you move into a role of people leadership, it's not a one size fits all approach. You have to understand how people tick and what makes them different, what motivates them, and how you can get the most out of them, and how you can recognize them when their efforts are worthy of being promoted to our leadership and to our stakeholders. So that was certainly a significant learning experience. And I'm now in my third people leader position, and I still learn on a daily basis from the folks that I'm working with. The second role that I'd say I've learned the most from is the role that I'm currently in. From a product management standpoint, this is my first time being in a position of new product development or product management. My previous roles were marketing and business development, analytics, site user experience and user experience enhancements. But when it comes to, product development, you've got to have a really strong understanding of the design target, right? What are their experiences and what are their expectations from a product perspective? How do we stack up relative to the offerings of our competitive set? And how can we capitalize on those things that differentiate us from the competition? So I think the last part of your question was around how easy or difficult was it to overcome those learning curve elements. And I just want to say American Express is incredibly focused on people development, right? There are a number of well-organized, web-based and self-directed training. And we were joking about this right before the call started. There is an extremely strong, what we call coffee chat culture, where we, regularly reach out to colleagues that have subject matter expertise so that they can help fill in the gaps for us as we continue on our career journeys and rightfully so, our own individual learning journeys.
Omar, I know you have a tight window to fill here and another engagement to get to. You let us know. This is good. I think this is really good information for our candidates, and you're doing such a great job. You let us know if you want us to continue on with the questions right now, or if you have to get off, we will move on to the program and address questions from there on. I know we do have a little time built in the back, so that's good, but you let us know. How are you looking on time?
Well, Larry, thank you. And I want to thank everybody again for the engagement and the questions that you've already posed. It was absolutely a pleasure to be here with you today. If you guys could capture any additional questions that the audience has for me, I'm happy to follow up as a fast follow. And I hope you guys have outstanding experience in the breakout rooms. I know my finance and tech colleagues have some incredible information to share with you. And I wish you all the best as you figure out where to next in your own career journeys. Thank you for your time and attention, and all the best.
Thank you so much, Omar. And thank you for the responses and giving us the details of what a successful career you've had and what a successful career might look like for one who's trying to do the same. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great one.
All right. Wow, that was great. We didn't know we were going to get Mr. Hawkins to stay on and answer as many questions as he did, as he had another engagement to get to, which we were well aware of. But we're so thankful for the opportunity, and thank you, candidates, for your great questions. Those are great, and hopefully you're going to help a number of people on the call. So thank you so much for your participation. But we do have to move on. We do have another part of the program, which is the breakout rooms. Okay. So hopefully you enjoyed what you just heard, but it's not over yet. We're going to go into a little bit more in-depth American Express Amex talk here. So what we're going to do, we're kind of going to go into a breakout session. And let me see if I can get these. There we go. So at this point, we have two areas of concentration. One is technology. The other is finance. Okay. And you will go into either one or two of the breakout rooms. Okay. Those breakout rooms, as far as technology goes, one will be held by Mr. Nario Wright, Director, Technology Delivery Enablement, Technology Strategy and Corporate Systems with Amex, and Edamari De Leon, a Recruiting Manager, Technology Colleague Experience Group. Okay. The other side of the breakouts will be finance. So for you who have a finance background and are looking for finance opportunities, you will go into the finance breakout by the first one will be held by Miss Marmalene Petition Meady, the Vice President of Line Finance Officer with Finance. And the other will be Mr. Mario Magana, who is a staffing specialist in finance in the College Experience Group. So look for the groups to be designated either technology or finance, and move in between those two rooms, depending on your background. At this time, I'm going to ask our CEO, Mr. Will Moss, to assist us in getting the breakout rooms going.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so to everyone, I'm going to go ahead and open up the rooms, but within Zoom. So I'm going to ask that you all self-select into the appropriate breakout rooms. And you can do that by selecting breakout rooms within Zoom. Once I open them up, then you can just choose the right room that you want to go into. If necessary, you can come back to the main lobby and then jump into to another room if necessary. And then if you're having any technical difficulties, you might want to disconnect from Zoom and then reconnect to the event. We'll let you in, and then you can select, or we can help put you into one of the breakout rooms. If you have any issues getting into the breakout rooms, just drop us a note in the chat and let us know which room you need help getting into. And then last but not least, once you are in the breakout rooms, you can turn your video on and you can use your audio, but please use the raise hand feature within Zoom. It's called a reaction. So if you see the option for reactions, I'm going to click on it now and I'm going to raise my hand, and you'll see on my video feed that my hand is raised. And so to the Amex folks that are in the room, you can then call on people that have their hands raised to ask their question on video and audio, or to our candidates, you can use the chat to ask questions in the chat, and the Amex folks can kind of pull from those questions coming from the chat. So definitely take advantage of this opportunity. Please be polite and succinct when you're asking your questions. Keeping mind of the fact that there are other people that may have questions as well. So let's keep the questions succinct and to the point, but definitely make sure to take advantage of this opportunity. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the breakout rooms now. Open all rooms, and then we'll close the rooms with just a couple minutes left to go. But you can go ahead and jump into the appropriate breakout room now.